In this video, you will be finding out whether the bull market is on or not. My name is Ken Mack.
And my name is Jan Strandberg.
This is the Ken and Jan Show, and today we will kick things off by diving right into the charts. All right, so the big question is the bull market on or not? Before I start reading the charts, I'm going to just kick it over to Jan to give us an introduction.
Hey, thanks, Ken, and thanks, Ken, for having me. Yeah, so this is our weekly show. We're going to be presenting different charts, different news, maybe even talk about a little bit about acquisitions here at the Jan and Ken Show. My name is Jan Strandberg. I'm the CEO of Acquire.Fi. I've been in crypto from 2011. And yeah, happy to share my thoughts and give my own professional opinions, what's happening in the market.
Lovely. Well, we have been consolidating for, let's just take out the measurement tool here. So let's just say that this was the bottom of the market. So you could say that we consolidated for 70 days, at this level here. And Bitcoin has broken out very, very nicely to the upside. I think we've pumped 50% from this bottom right here. There we are, 52%. Now, one of the indicators that I'm looking at, which makes me very excited, is the hash ribbons, which have flashed a buy signal right down here, the little blue dot. And also on the daily chart, we've flashed buy right down here. And historically, that's a very strong indicator.
Look at
now,
that. Wow.
Usually, Bitcoin, it tends to bottom out about 500 days before the next halving, and that is about now. And I always did say that I will be buying Bitcoin anywhere between 15K to 25K, and it's one of the first things that I did this morning when I woke up. And I'll share my screen with you guys and show you the purchase that I made, but I bought almost 3 Bitcoins this morning. I know that we are going to have a pullback. Now, these lines that we see here are the support and resistance. It's likely that we will head to the upside, 25K, 30K, 31K before we get the first pullback. Now, I'm not expecting any fireworks this year at all. I'm expecting sideways consolidation, and of course we usually get the pump when we hit the bottom of the markets the year before the halving, so that will be possibly now, and then we get the stronger pump within 6 months of the halving event. So it's impossible. I want to make something very clear right now. It is impossible to time the exact bottom. Now, I did make a bold prediction back in December. You can see the date there, the 20th of December 2021. So Bitcoin was about 51K when I said that's me exiting most of my positions, and I was calling for 10K, 10 to 14K, and we were about $1,500 or $1,600 off of that. Now, it's impossible. Nobody has a crystal ball, and nobody can say this is the exact top of the market. If they do, it is a stroke of luck. But we can look at all of the indicators that we have and all of the information within the charts that is available to us to make a educated guess of whereabouts we are in the cycle. Now, I was waiting for the $14,000 Bitcoin. It didn't happen, but I am pretty confident. Let me just take that off the screen. I am pretty confident now that we have formed a bottom. Now, what I've been looking for is a retest off of this downward sloping resistance here. You can see that we're bouncing off of this several times here, and then we eventually broke through to the upside. Okay, so I'll be expecting the price to perhaps come up. Yeah, it's a huge pump.
But imagine this, during these 2 months or 3 months, it's been bearish news as hell, like so much bearish news. And now we are finally getting off the bearish news. I think there's a lot of upside coming up. And I think Wall Street is also quite bullish at the moment on Bitcoin. Even Goldman Sachs was saying hey, Bitcoin is going to be the best performing assets in 2023. So I do agree with you that there could be a lot of upside this year, but I also do agree that there might be a little bit pump and dumps, and consolidation. But yeah, chart is looking very healthy.
Very healthy, yeah. And we can see on the stochastic RSI down here, we are in the overbought territory. So it is now trending to the downside. But at the end of the day, Bitcoin, nothing, not just Bitcoin, but anything in the markets, in the financial markets, it can't keep on going to the upside. But when we take a look at the price action back in 2018, before the halving, Bitcoin pumped 300%. Now, if we were to pump 300%, that would probably take us to about 69K, I would imagine. So 300% would take us to, so about 68K, give or take. I'm not saying that's going to happen this time, but you've got to be prepared for any eventuality. And this is why I'm going to show you something here just now, guys. The purchase that I made this morning. Here we are. I took a screenshot of my Binance account, and you can see that. I don't know if you guys can see if I zoom in.
Yeah, zoom a little bit. There we go. Wow.
There we are. So $62,650, and that was 2.6 Bitcoin. I just hit buy. I didn't even bother put an order in. I knew that I could have bought in lower, but I'm dollar cost averaging small amounts on a regular basis so that I can get an average buy-in. So if I do buy higher, I buy in lower, then I can reconsolidate my position by getting a better entry price. And it's the same with gold and silver, any other assets that I'm buying, just dollar cost averaging. Now, I think that's enough to convince you guys that I am bullish in the market. And of course, so close to the halving. This is one of the most exciting times to be in crypto. So I would, from my side, I could sit and run you through loads of different indicators and bore you, but it's going to probably mean nothing to you. So I think the best thing that I can show you is the purchase that I made this morning. Sorry, I didn't show you the date and the time. That was at 7 o'clock this morning on the 26th today, 2023.
I think, Ken, you also bought last time we were having the show in December. I think it was 16.5 or 16 even. So you must be up quite a lot already.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see the time there. So I woke up this morning. One of the first things that I did, look at the markets. We're at 23.2K. We pumped to 23.8. Yeah, absolutely. Boom. Made my purchase. Spot buy. There we go. Another 3 Bitcoin locked in. And, I get so many people asking me, do you think we're going to drop in price? Do you think we've bottomed out? Everybody's waiting to just hit that buy button. You can't go all in on Bitcoin. And usually these people that are waiting to time the bottom are waiting for these big dumps during these bullish periods. Do you know what they do? They buy the top of the market and they get left behind. And you don't want to be one of these people.
I think timing the market is always hard. I've seen it from 2011 already with 3 different bear markets. It's impossible. Just DCA, in the long term, you will be in a very good shape. I mean, and of course, you have to offload when you're up enough. And then again, a bear market comes and good buying opportunities comes in. But yeah, I think the DCA, it still works. Haven't changed the tactic. And I'm also buying here quite heavily at the moment, some BTC. But yeah,
you made a good point. You said time in the market. Now, what I say is time in the market is worth more than money in the market. So it's not all about how much money that you dump in the market. It's about how much time you are willing to wait in the market, whether you're buying stocks, shares, gold, or silver. These are very hot topics, something that makes me very excited. And we can speak about that with Acquire.Fi as well, what we're doing with silver, with the tokenization. But it's all about how long you're willing to hold these assets, not about how much money you're going to be investing in these assets.
Yeah, I do agree. And I have to say risk reward. People don't understand the risk reward. But come on, buying BTC at 16, 20K, I think the risk of losing it is pretty small, actually. Like, imagine the halving is coming. It means we're getting BTC will become way more difficult. Look at the bullish news. There's a lot of governments starting to talk about doing transactions with crypto. For example, Saudi Arabia, was it 1 week ago, said like, hey, they're not going to use only US dollar and other currencies. They're going to start transacting with cryptocurrencies. If Saudi Arabia is going to use BTC or even buy a fraction of that supply, it's gonna pump a lot. But of course, they're not going to do it right away. They're going to DCA as us. So I think this buying opportunity here is very good. But there's quite different things happening on the fiat market also. Like there's USD against the Japanese yen. So I don't know if people know what's happening in Japan, but what's been basically happening for the past 2 years, and you can see also from last year especially, is that Japanese yen is starting to lose its value. And why is that? Is because so people understand what the bond is, I hope. So they can't sell their bonds anymore. What does that mean? That means that if your government has a lot of loans and you go to the international lending market and you're trying to basically offload or sell these loans away, there's no one to take it. And I think this will start happening with more currencies. Japan is one of the biggest, I would say, economies out there. And why Japan is such a crucial market is because if Japanese yen goes down and we start to see that inflation there, which is already very high, the households, it's going to start affecting a lot of different things. And again, risk reward, like if you own BTC at this point, it's like owning like physical gold or gold itself, but it's in digital form. So I think here, DCAing and overall buying out, like very, very good risk reward. Especially like if you think about fiat currencies are not going to be lasting forever. That's for sure. We're going to see some central currencies coming in. And yeah, it's going to be very interesting times. And I think this is very bullish news for BTC.
Let's take a quick look here as well. We know that the DXY is inversely correlated with assets, gold, silver, Bitcoin. So, I hope that you guys know what this is as well. And this is the strength of the US dollar. So it's likely that if we do continue to the downside here, I reckon we'll probably drop perhaps another 2% before we get that reversal to the upside. So when we get that reversal, that's what's going to push the price of Bitcoin back down. But of course, not everything can go up and up and up. But again, that's just a speculation. Nobody knows at this moment in time where the DXY is going to go, but from where we're at just now, we are in the oversold territory. You can see
I think it's going to dump more. And my theory is this: there's a lot of other nations that are building trading, partnerships, and they're not going to trade anymore with US dollars. Like that's one of the reasons it's basically going down at the moment a lot. Like US dollar is losing its value. There might be the same thing happening, what is happening to Bank of Japan with yen. Like, what do you do when you can't sell your debt anymore? Like, your currency will lose value. And that's another reason.
Their debt's 32 trillion, I think.
It's a number.
It's impossible for that to be back. It can't be paid back.
Yeah. But yeah, this is a lot of bullish news for BTC. But like in reality, your value of money is disappearing. Your purchasing power is going down. And yeah, I mean, how to cover against this is with silver, gold, Bitcoin, whatever other hard assets or let's say collectibles you can have. I think they're great opportunities to buy.
Yeah, just talking about the opportunities to buy. This is a chart that I take a look at, which is the Bitcoin Rainbow Price Indicator, and anything that is in the blue zone here is a buy. You can see here it says fire sale. Yep. So we're on the bottom bands of the Rainbow Price chart, and anytime we come down here, sideways consolidation, bang to the upside. Sideways consolidation, bang down. Here, consolidation, bang. I think it's pretty self-explanatory what way Bitcoin is going to be heading in over the next 12 months. And that's why I'm dollar cost averaging. It's just impossible to catch the bottom. It's impossible to say that Bitcoin's going to come back down and definitely test 17K. It might head up to 30K and it might reclaim that as support, and we might not ever see 20K again. So that's why you're better just to make these decisions and invest what you can comfortably afford not to see for the next 12 to 24 months. But again, you're going to make up your own decisions. Nothing in this video constitutes as financial advice. I'm just telling you guys what I am doing myself and showing you. I get no incentive, of course, from telling you what to do. So you're going to make your own informed decision based on the advice that you receive from your own financial advisors. I know that you wanted to speak about Genesis Coin and the SEC here. Should we
we can
share this information?
Yeah, for sure. We can start with this one, with the SEC charging Genesis and Gemini. So I don't know if you guys have been following the story, but this is pretty big because basically what this means in US is that the earned product. So what Genesis and Gemini was doing was basically borrowing your assets, which were Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, and we're getting yield on it. But unfortunately, when this all started to unwind and the counterparty risks were starting to be quite heavy, these both exchanges were basically going down. And now I think what will happen in the United States is that these earned products or yielding products, they're not going to be there anymore. That's very good for the industry, I think, because these earned products, they had a lot of leverage. And what usually was happening was that big companies took basically your crypto, lended it away, or what's the right word? Borrowed it away. And basically they were getting a yield. But unfortunately, they were doing it so many times that the counterparty risk just started to be extra big. I don't know the English word here, but like, and one of the reasons, like for example, FTX got down because they had so much leverage, and now we're finally out of that leverage. Like I think all this news with getting these earned products, yielding products away, that's actually very bullish. So this is how I think we're getting the leverage away from the system. We're finally using spot to buy out cryptocurrencies, which is good. People are not leveraged anymore, and people understand the risks. Like, hey, like if you have a yield product, there's always a risk. There's always a counterparty risk. But yeah, very interesting.
So, if you're not willing to take a risk, then, the bottom line is you're not going to have any reward.
That's
And,
true.
as entrepreneurs and sophisticated investors, we need to, analyze what the risk is and what the
Risk reward.
reward is going to be, risk and reward.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, if you're scared of risk, then this is not the space for you to be in.
No, for sure. But my point there was like the risk was way, way more high. Like
Yeah.
the risk reward ratio was way, way more hard. I would not keep my cryptocurrencies in a centralized place, especially the ones that you need it for your main living. And yeah, not your keys, not your crypto.
Well,
Yeah,
that's it, exactly.
the next news is quite interesting. So as you guys know, or people that don't know, we at Acquire.Fi, we do merchant acquisitions. So what does it mean? We buy and sell or help to facilitate different crypto transactions, which means that there's a lot of people or VCs or founders that are trying to exit at the moment. And there's a lot of VCs and founders that are trying to actually come into the crypto space and buy out these different crypto companies. You took away the news here, but that doesn't matter.
Sorry.
It's fine.
I'll just pop it back up there.
Yeah, so what happened this week actually was that Genesis Coin got actually acquired by Bitstop. This is a very bullish news. And I think we're going to see more and more acquisitions happening moving forward. The valuations have gone down a lot. That means that there's going to be a lot of consolidation and a lot of new players coming in. We are talking with a lot of Web2 companies, VCs, venture studios, and they all went in. Like, it's very bullish. It's very bullish.
Sessions are very bullish times. Like these companies in the Web2 space, traditional finance businesses, they tend to get acquired for, rock bottom multiples. So the M&A space is mega hot. This is the best time to be in M&A, is in the recession. So when you're in a bust cycle, M&A is the best place. If you want to get a deal and you want to build wealth, then now is the time. Now is the time. And that cycle started in 2020.
No, absolutely. I think also in brick and mortar, the more the elderly are going to go on pension, like there's going to be a lot of businesses that you can buy. And yeah, that's against your expertise here. But yeah, it's very interesting to see that these acquisitions are happening at the moment in crypto. Last year, there was a lot of acquisitions, but I bet that this year is going to be like the cream of creams for M&A in crypto and Web3. A lot of interesting things happening, and this is good. This is very good.
Yeah, it's the time if you are looking at buying businesses, whether it's in the Web2 space or the Web3 space. We know that blockchain is going to play a major part in the global economy. So by snapping up these businesses now at rock bottom multiples, this is the time that you're going to make generational wealth, these massive multiples. Let's say you can buy them on a 5x or a 10x. In the future, once we go into the boom cycle, they can be worth a 10x, a 15x, a 20x. So you want to be paying attention during times like now. We can move over to this slide here. CoinDesk is looking at putting itself up for sale as its owner suffers the fallout from the site's own FTX bombshell scoop.
And Ken, if I would have the money, I would do it right away. Like, these are the deals that you want to find. Like, if I would be a VC or let's say a private equity company, dude, these are like these just companies that have revenue, that have traffic, especially a news outlet. I mean, this would be a zero, like I would buy it right away, to be honest. Who doesn't want to control the narrative, especially news in crypto? And overall, CoinDesk over there, like it's been around, I don't know, 10 years, 5 years? It's been like very long time. It's a good buyout. I would definitely do it.
Take a look at CoinDesk. Yeah, like you say, if you can control the narrative, then this is a major, major deal. There's CoinDesk here, so it's a major news publication for the Web3 space. Any idea how much this?
It has crazy amount of traffic. I think if you go to SimilarWeb, let me check it how much traffic it gets. But it's basically the most visited website or news website in crypto. And if they're selling and I would be a private equity company, I would definitely buy them out. A very good buyout. I don't know the multiplier there and what they're trying to get, but very good buyout. Would definitely
You
do
have
it.
any idea how much they're looking for this company?
Good question. Actually, it's 10 million visits a month, so it's pretty good. It's
Yep.
decent amount. And I know that if you want to get an article there and so forth, it will cost you $25,000.
There we
So
are.
they do have a good revenue model and business.
That will definitely be an opportunity to keep the eyes on. So, like you say, if you're a VC, you're a ultra high net worth investor, you're a family office, and you're looking for that big opportunity. We know that crypto is never going to die. Crypto is here to stay. That's a fact. It's not going anywhere at all. And if you want to have one of the ultimate assets, that's to be able to control the narrative when you're buying into these media and publication companies. This is one that I will be keeping my eye on myself.
Do you know, I have a theory. I have a theory that Elon Musk is going to buy CoinDesk. It would be such a good buyout. He would have
Wow.
Twitter, and then he would have CoinDesk, which is the biggest crypto outlet out there. That would be such an amazing deal. But yeah, who knows? Who knows what will happen? We don't have any more news. We can go through our own deal. Ken, you were on the show yesterday, I think, with Plan C. What was that about?
Yeah, that was really cool. So we got to speak on one of the Twitter spaces about mergers and acquisitions, about tokenization of real world assets, and really breaking down what it means to tokenize an asset and how a normal investor can benefit from that. And what we were explaining was that in the traditional world, you would need to go to through a hedge fund to get access to some of the assets that we're going to be tokenizing. And let's take silver as an example. Okay, if you're going to be an investor in the UK buying into silver as a physical asset, then you've got a lot of things that you need to take into consideration, like the minting fees, making fees, delivery fees, security, storage. And not only that, you've got the VAT as well, which is 20%. Now, if you come over to Acquire.Fi and you want to invest securely in a precious metal like silver, then you've got one fee to pay. So you've got no extra minting fees, delivery fees, making fees, security charges, storage charges. And the beautiful thing is that you've got no VAT either, because these assets are getting bought in Dubai and they're getting stored in Dubai and ring-fenced within a company, within a special purpose vehicle, so that these assets are completely separate from AcquireFi. So let's say something, happened to AcquireFi, which, God forbid that never happens. And I doubt very much that it would. But let's just say, what if AcquireFi goes bankrupt and my assets are over here and I've invested in this NFT? Well, those assets are held securely in a vault, which is audited. And also, the company in Cyprus owns the assets, which is completely separate from AcquireFi. And what you're actually buying is the shares in the company that then owns that asset. So one share is equal to 1 kilogram of silver, and then you can resell that NFT on the secondary market. One of the very exciting things that we're looking at as well in the future is launching a lending protocol so that you can take the NFT and you can take a loan against that asset. So let's say, for example, you can get access to 60% or 70% loan to value, then you can get access to that capital, and then you can invest the difference in more silver or more gold. So, we're looking at all of these different innovative mechanisms that we could plug within the ecosystem of AcquireFi. AcquireFi is a full-on investment ecosystem. It's an investment ecosystem. So if you want to build wealth, then you need to acquire. By acquiring, you are accessing equity, capital. It's the name of the game. You want to get wealthy, then you need to acquire. And that's what AcquireFi is all about.
Yeah, I think with the borrowing and lending, especially now in the beer market, there's a lot of people sitting with their gold and silver. And I think it's very stupid if you want to be more liquid, that you should have to liquidate almost all gold or silver, or that you have to do it physically. I think it's a very old-fashioned. And I think there was actually very interesting news from BlackRock that actually said that they're going to also want in the future tokenize stocks. That would be kind of interesting. But yeah, like what we're building with Ken and with the AcquireFi team is something very special. And we have been growing quite a lot. Like we've been doing so much work behind the scenes. I think we have 185 buyers, which are ventures, VCs, private equity people, and we're touching base with family offices now. So I think there's there's something very special that's happening. And also with the merchant acquisitions, and especially with these equity deals, there's a lot of Web2 people coming in. And that's why I'm very bullish on crypto at the moment. I don't think we're going anywhere. I think what happened with FTX, with Genesis, and other, let's say, these tier one VCs, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. We've finally flushed out the rot from the market and we can rebuild again. But yeah, so let's go through what we have here. Like we said before, there was a deal. Coindesk was for sale. Here's something a little bit smaller. So this is a crypto news company. It's in Canada, actually. And it's been producing quite well revenue despite the owner has not done anything. And I think people who understand news media outlets understand like SEO, search engine optimization. They understand like, hey, owning these different news outlets, it's a very good way of producing money once the market comes back. And especially if you're an influencer or an influencer network, I think news outlets like this, they're very good. And we've been actually having a lot of conversations around this deal. I think it's a very interesting deal. And I think it's something that a lot of people will eventually buy out.
Yeah, and we're saying as well that during recessions, this is the time where you can buy your businesses at a rock bottom multiple. Now, back in the day, this is how I made my wealth. And I was able to semi-retire at a very, very young age because I was buying businesses during the credit crunch, the worst financial crisis since the 1929 Great Depression. Now, you can see here, if the asking price of this business is 75K, it's a 1x. This business is for free. I could have bought this business pretty much with the investment that I put into Bitcoin this morning. And I could be immediately yielding $6,200 of profit. Now, here's the magical thing. You could buy this business, if it's based in Canada, as, let's say, an LLC. You could move the business to Dubai, okay? And you could legally pay zero tax, depending on your individual circumstance, subject to you speaking to your accountant, of course, and getting professional advice. But you could, hypothetically, you could move the business to Dubai and you can be taking all of that revenue into Dubai. So if I bought that company, I would be locking it into our ecosystem in Dubai and I would be systemizing, automating this as much as I can. Guys, this is the price of one Bitcoin back in the bull market. So with all of that profits that were made, I hope that you realize some of your profits. One Bitcoin could have bought you a company. And what you want to be doing as well is realizing your profits and then locking them into, diversifying them into other asset classes and other businesses that are cash flowing. This is a business that would have been cash flowing right the way through the bear market. And
yeah, I think it's a very interesting deal. And I think we have more deals that we're going to go through next week also. But yeah, like guys, there's a lot of opportunities now in crypto M&A, like a lot. I think the M&A itself is quite new in crypto, but people are starting to understand like, hey, you can build something on top of these different businesses that we have. And the ones that understand this really well, they will make a lot of money during bull run. Of course, it's not financial advice and you should always talk to your accountant. But think about it. Like you can get a business that is producing revenue and you can get yield. That's real yield. That's not a Fugazi or anything else. That's real yield. That's something that is producing money and you can build on top of that. Like let's say you want to build a news outlet like that and you have your own brand already, you're a very well-known influencer, dude, you can get extra revenue products on top of that because you can sell ads, you can sell a lot of different ads. But yeah, endless opportunities. I'm very bullish.
Absolutely. If you made a good point, you're an influencer, you've got some exposure, that would be an ideal complementary business that you can, of course, bring a lot of attention to. And it's fun buying businesses because you can add value, you can look at how you can increase the revenues. Let's say they're on a day shift, then perhaps you can run a night shift and double the revenues of the company. There's so many different innovative strategies that you can plug into your existing business in order to cut the costs, drive the revenues, dehumanize the processes, to automate as much as possible. There's so many different things. I don't like the word dehumanization. Like that word.
That's pretty awful.
It's a little bit crazy. Yeah. But reducing the number of staff that you have to be able to automate as much as possible. A little bit what Elon Musk had done with Twitter. He reduced the staff to a very, very skeleton workforce, and now the company is even more productive than ever. But that's a topic for another day, guys. But are there any updates, community updates that we can share for the AcquireFi community, like the Acquire staking
single
and
staking
rewards
is there
tool?
coming up?
Yeah.
We have new advisors coming on board, and yeah, like we have 100 over 165 buyers, VCs, venture capitalists, private equity guys. People are coming in. Like, I'm very happy, and we're getting what, 1 to 2 deals now a week. So there's a lot of things happening, guys. I'm very proud of what we're building. And yeah, stay tuned. Like, we're trying to get this bi-weekly now, or weekly at least, and yeah, go from there.
Yeah, we pretty much built the biggest M&A platform in the world. There is nobody right now with more deals within the Web3 space than us.
That's
We've got the
true.
most amount of Web3 deals. So all eyes are now on Acquire.Fi. Everybody knows who we are. The team have been working round the clock, flat out, putting this together, invested an absolute fortune to bring the company to where it is today. And very proud of everybody, the amount of work they put into this. There's been a lot of hard work, a lot of strategizing, a lot of man hours, a lot of mental pain that's gone into getting the company to where it is today.
No, absolutely. I recommend to follow our Twitter and our Telegram, and we do have a deal flow channel also where we post our deals. MVP is coming up. Yeah, a lot of bullish news.
Oh, guys, if you've enjoyed the show, make sure to give us a like and subscribe so that you don't miss any of the content. Because I do know that YouTube does have a tendency to shadow ban a lot of the crypto content that's going out there. So I would appreciate if you guys could put the bell notification on so that you do get notified when we release a new video, because we will be bringing you some of the most important updates in the market if you are serious about building generational wealth. So we look forward to seeing you guys on the show next week.